success, going to be the aggressor, especially when you're considering a character the quality of Duck Hunt. Let's go to the stadium for game number 1, shall we?
Zane is certainly no slouch with their Duck Hunt, and even the matchup can get kind of screwy because of just how strong Zero Suit's movement options are. I feel like Zane's ability to control a lot of space all at once while still staying, somewhat aggro, which is to be unexpected of Duck Hunt, can lead pretty well for them. But if I know Sensei as well as I think I do, I feel like Sensei's not going to give Zane enough time to really set up camp and let them establish a strong sense of control. Not that this is anything new for any of the plethora of zoner players in Tri-State. Sensei is no slouch when it comes to the likes of fighting against tons and tons of projectiles, regardless of whatever character is bringing them to the table. But you can't be boost kicking like that at a disadvantage. That is a surefire way to eat tons of damage and lose your first stock.
I mean, it's so crazy how risky that up B is. You're either hitting that and connecting and potentially taking that first stock, though I would have questioned that at that percentage, to be completely honest, or you're getting punished for it, and that's the risk that you're taking. You always got to put chips on the line when you roll the dice, and sometimes you connect with snake eyes. So, gonna be looking for 7s on the next one. However, got to be fighting out of a disadvantage for now, and a full stock disadvantage at that. If you're a Sensei, a little bit of can play. I'm liking what I'm seeing there from Zane. Yeah, step here if you dare. Sensei trying to play around with it and doing relatively well. However, the survivability of Duck Hunt on full display there as well as, really trying to catch him with that landing. I honestly thought they were dead. No! However, oh my gosh, hoisted by their own mechanism there was Zane. However, Zane gives it right back. We are at 2 stocks to 1 in favor of the dog.
Don't know if Sensei has a good sense of how to navigate out of the way of can. Interrupting can, definitely one of the best ways to go about it, but you're avoiding just a little bit too much if you're hanging out down there. Very questionable movement options. Costs the game for Sensei as Zane takes game 1.
That was I think you're just kind of, no, don't get me wrong, I think it's a very good idea to try to avoid can and to avoid the skeet, but it's not maybe not there, I would say, is my analysis of that particular situation. So we are going to go to game number 2. Well, you said that you liked seeing Snake play. There is a very real possibility of that happening. But then again, I kind of wonder if you're a Sensei, maybe that's a good thing, what just happened, because you're not tilting yourself any further. Duck Hunt is a notoriously frustrating character to play, both online and off. Ask me what I know about that, being a resident of the Philadelphia area. And it's we are going to go to the snake pick, and well, I said it depended on your definition of explosive, Hangman. We're about to see just how true that is.
Hey, listen, I've said before, I'll say it again, I enjoy watching Snake. I play Duck Hunt to a considerable degree and understand the character fairly well. I was being pretty literal when I said explosive. On screen, you have 3 separate frame 1 interruptions. You have Clay Pigeon, you have the Trick Shot, and then you have Grenade. On top of everything else these characters bring to the table for being able to interrupt, on a regular basis, there's going to be a lot of times when characters just are taking hits and going to have to deal with it. And right now, it's Sensei who's on the receiving end of a lot of those. It's already losing the first stock to Zane.
One of the quicker Duck Hunt matches I have ever seen thus far at this pace, so I have to respect them at least for that. But Sensei right now, not looking maybe fully mentally there. I'm not sure how to interpret this, to be completely honest. This is just very unlike Sensei.
This is sort of what I was alluding to earlier when I said more aggressive than usual. Zane themselves is already a fairly aggro player, even though they play a lot of more defensively oriented characters. Besides Duck Hunt, plenty of Wario, plenty of Bayonetta, plenty of Lucas. But also, in general, Duck Hunt is not really that well acclimated to to just straight zoning. It's a lot of trap setting. Between the Wild Gunman, the Trick Shot, the Clay Pigeon, and then, you know, the Duck and Dog themselves, you have a lot of tools to tell your opponent to move in a very specific way. You know, put that together at a fast pace, and all of a sudden, your opponent's never really given a proper opportunity to play on their own pace. But, as Sensei's just proven, and has proven plenty of times before, a quick reversal could lead to any change in momentum that lets them breathe.
Getting tagged up just a little bit there, and I mean, a little bit slower for the stock number 2, but you're still eating a lot of damage. Zane fully in control of this one, looking for that up air, maybe in danger of overextending a little bit, but back to the stage. This is about where you want to be if you're Duck Hunt, and gonna just have to waste that can and utilize the Clay Pigeon just a little bit more. You rolled right into the Cowboy, my guy. Sensei, oh man, not hitting the tech. I don't know, he's just kind of getting tossed around like a rag doll here.
Call with the dash tech led trick shot, no dice, but 196. You know, even for the likes of Snake, that's looking like a rough percentage. Even Clay Pigeon starting to do like considerable amounts of knockback, which is not something you usually see by any degree. I do like, one thing I do want to highlight that I think is really smart is the highly positioned Wild Gunman. Not only are they covering more landing options for Sensei, that's forcing him to recover from like way out deep, from like nearly full stage distance, but it's also keeping the Gunman safe from the explosive hell that Sensei is raining down. Putting Nikita together with the 2 grenades and the up smash mortar, there's a lot that's going on that the Gunmen have to worry about. And if they're in an additional hit stun after getting downed, that's like a lot of time where Zane is denied one of their key zoning tools.
It's gonna be just a little difficult for Sensei to bring this back. Zane has won a DNA in the past. It was actually in the earlier one of the first weeks of August. Winds up beating Enzo in grand finals by a score of 3-2 on the reset. Enzo playing K. Rool in that matchup, but they maybe looking to add another one of Tri-State's crowns to their collection of trophies. Did finish quite well in Xeno last week as well, finishing 5th out of 59 competitors. So, yeah, this is a 60-person bracket this week too. So, this is definitely within the realm of possibility. However, Sensei trying to bring this back and doing pretty well in doing so, as they take Zane down to their final stock. You're still fighting for your winner's bracket life, so I wouldn't necessarily give him the advantage, but momentum is what it is, Hangman.
My only problem is that, like, Snake taking a lot of damage is part of the course. Like, we've come to appreciate that from all sorts of matchups. The issue here is that it's not through trades. Like, Zane is doing an amazing job of just very safely nickel and diming Sensei. And even though getting, like, slowly closing in on up tilt kill percentage, like, it's still a really risky bout. Good control of the trick shot, but it's not going to lead to any further pressure.
And I am respecting that from Zane. It's a very consistent, very fluid game plan. At no point does it seem like Zane is out of control of this particular matchup. Knocks the can over into Sensei, and this nickel and dime damage is exactly right, Hangman. And of course, you find yourself with enough nickel and dimes, you'll have yourself $1. Zane looking to cash in on that fact. Going into the final minute of this game number 2. Sensei hanging around at 144%, not out of the realm of possibility, but the survivability of Duck Hunt makes me think maybe it's just a little out of reach for him.
Doable, especially if Sensei gets to put his boots back on the stage at some point. But he's just not able to approach on Zane properly.
Oh, you see how high that can went? Zane wanted that so badly. That would have been just
that can could have gone higher.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's I'm not saying it was for a lack of effort. I'm saying, my goodness, did he want it? But that dash attack, oh, it's so good. And Zane all of a sudden being made to work to get back on the stage will get caught by the mortar, and Sensei lives to fight another day. It is tied at 1 as we head into the rubber match.
Snatched victory right from the jaws of defeat. In general, that was pretty standard, like, Sensei edge guarding, and he needed to make sure he did not miss a single beat on that. Otherwise, he was shit out of luck. Like, at that percentage, half of Duck Hunt's kit is securing your victory from that side of the stage. I could see Game 3 bringing this right on back to Stadium because Zane played it so effectively, but I'm curious to see what happens as we move forward. We see one of the tokens moved off, so I don't know if that means a character swap is in order or if
I
the
think that's stage. It has to be stage.
Ooh, okay.
Wait. I think that's Sensei's token that moved off now, so maybe a switch back. No, they're going to stick with the snake, and who could blame them?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's an even matchup. It's just a matter of how well you can maintain that sense of control. A control that's very chaotic. But the switch to Nova Pokemon like this was a really good pick for Zane.
I really like this. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You get all the space in the world with which to work if you need it. And if you want, you have those little non-interactivity platforms that that do exactly what you need them to do, which is give you just a little bit of a breather, and perhaps even combo with that very underrated up air that you have with Snake. That is, you definitely notice it when it's there. Let's just say that, Hangman.
What I really like about this stage pick, as far as Zane's perspective is concerned, is the fact that all of the options that Duck Hunt has naturally come out at angles that let you control both base plat and the platforms themselves. So Zane doesn't have to put as much effort into trying to mitigate Sensei's approach options. Add that on top of the fact that it's just a little bit less space than we'd see from Stadium, and all of a sudden, like, that trapping control that Duck Hunt brings to the table is just that much more powerful. Forward smash gonna pick off the first stock, and Zane not missing a beat, already trying to move on to pressure out the second stock.
Yeah, and also the fact that you have, it is quite a large stage in terms of blast zones and all that stuff, so especially when you're going off to the sides. Maybe that plays a little bit in the advantage of both players, but at the same time, kind of like, oh man, the sombrero man right to the face. I'm not even sure what to call that, to be completely honest. I just said sombrero man for lack of a better term. But
we refer to that specific gunman as Sombrero because of his sombrero.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going with Desperado or what, but then again, that's Cowboy too, so whatever. Either way, going up top, and yeah, Duck Hunt has an up air too. You have to respect it, as we saw earlier on in this set, as a matter of fact. But this game number 3, it's weird. We kind of think of Duck Hunt. People were talking about Duck Hunt as being the sort of replacement for Snake in Smash 4. It really is just kind of Snake, but more obtuse. Same game plan, more or less, except, you know, you can slow down the game just a little bit more. It's a little bit more crazy and quirky, I guess, in how the character operates. But you're also not necessarily helpless against Snake in this particular iteration of Smash as well. You gotta love how they differentiated between the two characters, and certainly Zane is loving that as well as he has Sensei down to their final stock.
Hey, amazing stage control from Zane. Look at this, already 120 builds up before Sensei's really had a say in the matter. The fact that Trick Shot caught the Cypher and then the Duck caught the Snake, an amazing way for Zane to secure the victory over Sensei in explosive fashion as they find themselves closer and closer to winning tonight.